The Northern faction trials are usually designed for ADR, and most people say you can't beat it without it. But I use the strategy where you have no Alice, no Drellin, no Legendary Lord, and no ADR. You would use uh, either Lubo or ADR for it. And I'm gonna show you the run right now. This is probably the most free to play I can get with this. And you can replace Falcia with any single target dealing damage unit on a ground tile. We are going to use Astrid here behind the tank with Unyielding. You need two Unyielding tanks for the strategy. One is Rox, the other one could be Malvira, or in my case Brokia. And we are setting Lubu or either Adir, whatever you have, just behind Astrid, to make them both deal with the big tanks with the shield. The second they proc their shield, they are doing massive damage and would kill any tank. That's why we use unyielding tanks. And there we are going to place a second healer. You need very good healers for this strategy, just because the tanks are getting dealt a lot of damage. Even more damage from the burning enemies on the top. And as soon as you see the enemies rolling in, you gotta pick up your tank and place the other tank on top of the enemies and right away freeze with Mari. So the enemies are being blocked and can actually take damage from your DPSs. And you gotta heal a lot in this stage because the tank is getting massive damage from the burning enemies and you don't want to proc the unyielding from those guys, but you need to save your unyielding for the burning tanks with the shield. Lupo is nice right here because you can deal damage to the boss, but you don't need the damage of Lupo. Falcia is capable of dealing damage to the boss by herself and killing it. Right there we are going to use Mari's ultimate in any second now, just to freeze them before they reach the tank. As soon as they reach the tank, the shields are actually dealing burning damage to the Brock here, and we want to heal him, but don't want to lose the unyielding before the shields are actually down. From now on, you are going to see that the strategy is very similar to the rest of the run. You are going to pick up the tank again as soon as the enemies from the top are rolling in. And for the strategy, you would need enough damage to deal with the enemies from the right before the burning enemies are coming in. Right there, you're going to see tank again on top, freeze with Mari, activate Lubu. Sometimes Lubu can actually die because he deals damage to himself and also the damage from the boss is then finishing him off. Then you have to reset and just remember to trigger his ultimate. Falcia, as soon as she ults, she can actually move over to the other enemies, so I don't waste her ultimate right there. And the last tanks are going to come in here. You don't actually have to deal with all the 81 enemies, by the way. You just have to finish the tank, excuse me, the boss, to actually finish the stage. Right from the top should be the last enemies for this stage. This time I delayed the pickup of the tank a bit. You don't have to delay it, it's just to make them move on the same tile to deal with them a bit faster, because the enemies are actually getting blocked right there. And when I pick up the tank, you will see Lu Bu is actually dealing damage even if they are not blocked, because after being blocked, they have like 2-3 seconds um, where they count as blocked, as a state of blocked, but are not actually blocked. But it doesn't matter. You can just go ahead and do what I did all the time. Pick up the tank, place the tank on them, on top of them, and now we are probably going to kill the boss. And as you can see, the stage will end as soon as the boss is dead. Right there. And yeah, that's the run. We are only using one tank in one tile, and Falcia as the DPS for the whole boss. There you can see the damage. Astrid is actually doing more damage than Lu Bu. And now I'm going to show you the gear. The gear is really good for this, but if you replace some epics with legendaries, you don't have to have as good gear as this. Your tanks and your healers are the main priority for good gear, and your healers have to be very good, unless you would use Rivenhalt, because he can heal and shield and do everything you need for the stage. And yeah, most important is to have 2 unyielding tanks, 3 healers, and you can ask me in the comments if you want for any replacements of legendaries for epics. Then leave a like and subscribe if you want, and I'm going to see you in the next video.